On a warm and sunny Sunday on June 5th, over 700 riders flocked to Hardwood Ski Bike near Barrie, Ontario for the highly popular Trek Canada Cup. This event is organised by Pulse Racing and includes the only UCI level mountain bike race to be held in Ontario. In the elite level races, the Three Rocks racing team rocked the party with 5 podiums, including 2 firsts. The Trek teams also went batty, earning 2 podiums, with Emily Batty of Subaru Trek winning the women's elite and Eric Batty of Trek Canada taking 3rd in the men's. Some of the biggest winners of the day were the number of kids out enjoying the morning racing, with lots of smiling faces and great performances. It was also great to see so many of the kids stay to cheer on the elite riders in the big race later in the morning. Let's come down the Bone Shaker.
No, but I want.
You'd like to come down the Bone Shaker?
No. Sure.
Early reports were that the course conditions were superb. We managed to catch up with race director Glenn Mauise in the morning to chat about this year's race course. I should congratulate you first of all in being awarded the 2013-2014 Canadian National Mountain Bike Cross Country Championships. Very well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. We're actually really excited to bring it back to Ontario. The last time was 1997, and we now are bringing the National Championships back for 2013-2014, and hopefully that'll lead in, well, it does lead into the Pan Am Games for 2015.
Now, is this possibly a warm-up to a World Cup event sometime down the road?
Well, we would hope so. Actually, one of the goals of the Pan Am Games is to build a legacy and a legacy of future events. So if we have a good Pan Am Games, which I expect we will, we can then lead into a possible World Cup.
Now, today's elite race will feature the new UCI format for Olympic cross-country mountain bike races. What will we see different today than we've seen in previous elite races here at Hardwood?
Yeah, the new UCI format is a much shorter course, a 5 to 6K course, much shorter laps, 15 to 16 minute laps, and they come back 2 to 3 times back into the stadium. So we've built more over-under bridges, we've built more features, it's much more spectator friendly, and the racing is much tighter. The packs will form up, and it's much more tactical for the racers as well.
So basically it's much more spectator friendly and maybe even media friendly.
It's much more media and spectator friendly, and the riders love it. They say it's more head-to-head racing. It's a shorter race by about half an hour, so it's much more intense as well.
Very good. Now, we've had a pretty good week. It's been fairly dry and warm. We had some rain last night. How's the course conditions today for the race?
Actually, we couldn't have a better course conditions. The dryness dried up the wet spring we've had, but it was getting a bit dusty and slippery, so the rain yesterday just tacked everything up. The corners are going to hold up really well. These guys will go easily 30 seconds a lap faster today than they would have on Thursday or Friday, just because of the tackiness of the course.
Well, listen, I know you're a busy man this morning. Thanks for your time, and good luck with today's events.
Great, thanks for coming out.
The Sport and Expert course was the usual longer 8.5-kilometre loop, with riders enjoying a mixture of single track, fire road and technical sections. Also, as noted, the elite race at 11:30 follows the new UCI format of a shorter loop with more laps. This 6.1-kilometre course also includes the infamous Hardwood Hills Bone Shaker, a veritable spectator favourite. The aptly named Bone Shaker is a man-made rocky technical descent which drops you 70 feet in very short order with a 16% grade. It challenges the most skilled riders and requires 100% concentration, as even a minor lap can be disastrous, as demonstrated here. The day started with the young and future stars at 9 AM with lots of eager riders having some fun on the hills with smiling faces all around. The sport categories followed, with over 300 riders competing for trophies and a chance to stand on the podium. The last race of the day included the expert categories, which saw some tough competitions. Notably, the Master Expert 30 to 39 category, John Barnes of Trek Canada took his 4th cross-country win of the early season, finishing well over 3 minutes ahead of his nearest rival. Athletes in the feature event of the day, the UCI Canada Cup race, put on a great show for the large and supportive crowds. Fans were especially appreciative to see the 2 cross-country World Cup contenders take the time to come out and compete on home turf.
Number 1, number 7.
In the men's elite, Ontario's favourite Derek Zanstra and Three Rocks Racing teammate Cameron Jetty were the first out of the gate and never looked back. They remained in the lead for the entire race, slowly widening the gap as the race progressed. Top-ranked Canadian Zanstra displayed the ultimate in team camaraderie, working with Jetty for most of the race to finish in 1 hour 38.5 minutes, just 23 seconds ahead of second place Jetty. Eric Batty finished 3rd after battling with a group of riders who were chasing hard, with several finishing within a 40-second stretch. We caught up with Cameron after the race. How was the race today out there?
It was good. The course was super fast. It was key to have a good start, and the weather was perfect. The course conditions were unbelievable, super fast, super tacky, and just a really good day.
No, you and Derek were out front pretty well the whole race. What was going on out there?
I started pretty hard, and I saw that I was getting a bit of a gap with some of the other riders, and only Derek was able to come with me. So I rode pretty hard, and Derek, then eventually Eric Batty caught up to us, so it was 3 of us, but there was a group of 5 kind of in the back, and so we just kind of played it a bit cool and saw what the gap would be, and then on the 5th lap, Derek really pinned it. I just went on his wheel, and we were able to get a good gap, and that was it.
Now, your plans for the rest of the season, you're going to do the Canada Cups, obviously, and some World Cups?
Yeah, I'll be doing the rest of the Canada Cup schedule, Nationals, and the World Cup in St. Anne, World Cup in Wyndham, World Cup in Czech Republic, and the World Cup in Val di Sole.
Now, how does Hardwood Hills compare to some of the other venues like Mont St. Anne and Wyndham and some of the other European venues? How does it stand up?
I'd say it's more like a European venue, like faster, always on the gas. It's not as technical or as hilly as something like Mont St. Anne, but the courses now in the World Cup are getting shorter, faster, and so it's almost more like a World Cup as opposed to the Canada Cups are more technical mountain bike kind of stuff, where this is more like almost like a criteria. I'm just sprinting and going as hard as you can all the time.
Great. Now, Three Rocks Racing is really rocking the scene. Great showing in all categories. You happy with the move to the team?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's my first year with the team, and the support's been incredible, and it's pretty much the main reason why I've been able to make a big lead this year. I mean, the Scott bikes are great, Shimano parts are awesome, everything's just perfect. Couldn't ask for more.
Great, great showing today, and congratulations, and all the best the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Cameron Jetty has been racing in the elite circuit for 6 years. He's known as a tough competitor, and this year it's finally paying off with a 3rd, 4th and a 2nd in Canada Cups and a 1st in an Ontario Cup race already this season. He's only 24, so watch out for this rising Ontario cross-country star in coming years. In the women's elite race, Emily Batty of Subaru Trek led the entire race solo and was clearly strong, coming off a great World Cup performance in Offenburg the week before, finishing the 5-lap 30-kilometer race in 1 hour 35 minutes and 46 seconds. Amanda Sin of Three Rocks Racing was 2nd, and Catherine Vipond of the Norco Factory team was 3rd.
Today is a hard race at the Trek Toronto Canada Cup here at Hardwood Hills. It's a hard day. It's perfect weather, so it's actually quite windy heading out on the double track. There's no significant climb really to break the peloton apart. So for the first lap and a half, we were just sitting in a train, and then you just basically have to ride tempo until it gets slowly broken apart and people start fading. But it's a really hard course, but it's a classic. We've been doing this one forever, and it's my former team sponsors this race, so it's a really important one. And it's on home turf, so it's been great.
You on track for where you want to be?
Yeah, I'm where I want to be. It's, I mean, it's the year before the Olympics, so to get 15th is equivalent to getting top 10 a year and a half or 2 years ago. Because every year getting closer to the Olympics gets a little faster, a little tighter, a little more competitive. You know, if you're 0.2% off on a day, that's 5 spots. And for the women, that's really exciting, and that's really great for the spectators. But yeah, I'm where I want to be, and you know, June is pretty quiet for us as far as racing, so my coach, also my boyfriend Adam Orca, who rides for Trek Toronto, we're going to go to Colorado for 2.5 weeks. Just kind of get away and do some good training and altitude training down there, and then do a couple more World Cups back onto the race scene.
And of course we have the World Championships in Switzerland in September. I imagine you're going there.
Oh, absolutely, yes, no doubt about it. We've done that race 2 or 3 times now, so we know the course. It's quite technical, I think one of the more technical of them all, and even more so with bad weather. But that's what we're looking forward to, is World Championships, of course, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, how does this course here at Hardwood Hills compare to some of the courses on the World Cup circuit?
Hardwood Hills it doesn't really have that major climb that a World Cup typically has. Usually we gain, I don't know the elevation specifically, but we usually have one big massive climb, and I guess, you know, Bone Shaker here, it might stand up to some of the technical sections, but in World Cup racing now they're adding some really at least one gnarly technical descent. At Champery, like we were saying, it's one of the most technical, and it has like a downhill drop. It's like a 3 foot, you know, maybe even 4 foot gap, a drop on it. But it's got its own feel. It's you know, this is a power course. It's a pedal course. It's always on the gas, and it's hard to hide.
Well, great showing today. You look very strong, obviously in great shape for the rest of the season. Congratulations, and looking forward to see your results for the rest of the year.
Awesome, thank you so much.
In the Canada Cup Cross Country Race Series, the husband and wife duo Matt Hadley of Espresso Barcel and Catherine Vipon of the Norco Factory team both retained the Elite Leaders jerseys. In the men's junior race, Three Rocks Racing again made the podium, with Marc-Antoine Nadon in first, with Alexandra Viali of CVM Val-David in second, with another Ontario racer, Breton Matthews of Total Sports Bike Shop, in third. The British Columbia phenomenon and women's junior world downhill champion Lauren Rosser was clearly in charge of the women's junior cross-country race, winning in just under 1 hour and 3 minutes. Frederique Trudel of Specialized and Team Quebec in second, and Samantha Wagler of Two Wheel Express in third were less than a minute behind. Rosser showed her downhill skills on the Bone Shaker, clearing the technical descent on each lap with obvious ease. There's no doubt that we will be seeing much more of this talented and skilled young rider in years to come. Hardwood Ski Bike and Pulse Racing, along with the Canadian Cycling Association's officials, put on a great day of racing, which was clearly enjoyed by well over 700 riders and a huge crowd of spectators. We look forward to the Canadian Mountain Bike Cross Country Championships in 2013 and 2014, and the Pan Am Games in 2015 at Hardwood Ski Bike. This race report was brought to you by Chain Reaction Television. Watch out for more cycling and race reports in the coming months.